Yes, oh my gosh. Okay, we're recording. Let me just make the announcement of what we're doing. Finally, I'm going to make a Valentine's Day wreath, and I couldn't find that sign that was in the picture. It did come from Kohl's. I did end up getting this one instead. This is the only one they had at Kohl's, and it's kind of heavy, but I think it'll be okay. I really wanted to use that other sign again, but they didn't have it. Boy, my throat is just burning from the antibiotic. But yeah, it's been a crazy month. And honestly, I'll tell you guys a funny story. I'm going to sit down for a second here. I don't know if any of you guys know that, I also, I ended a 10-year relationship in October. And so dating again at 53 is really kind of, it's kind of funny. I don't know, it's weird. And I did join a dating site, and you got to be careful on those places because so many people are fake. They're just, and they're good at what they do. And I just actually caught this one guy, and it's weird because you're thinking, all right, he's just too good looking. He looks like he's like a model, you know what I mean? And I started talking to this guy. He said he was a veterinarian, and he was only like an hour away. So I started talking to him, and his voice did not match his face. Do you know what I mean? He just did not sound like he looked. And this is just all like culminated today. I just found out. He sent me to his Facebook profile, and it's all these pictures of him. Oh, there's your doggy. All these pictures of him, like doing different, activities, but none of his posts had any likes on them. It was just really, really strange. I'm going to mute you, Robin, here, because your doggy's making some. Is it Robin's doggy that's making noise, or?
That's not my doggy.
I'm going to mute everybody here.
My doggy's sleeping.
Oh, okay. But anyway, long story short, he had all these pictures on his Facebook profile. And it was like straight out of Catfish, I'm telling you. Guys ever heard of that show, Catfish? You ever heard of that before? Anybody?
I have, yes.
Okay, so, and I'm, like I said, this isn't my first round with dating sites. I've done the dating sites before, so I'm usually pretty good at, like, telling if somebody's fake. This guy went to great lengths. It looks like he just went and created this whole Facebook profile using this guy's pictures. I mean, there were a ton of pictures, tons. And he felt that made him real. But all it did was, just by looking through his profile, all it did was just verify that he was fake. Because like I said, not one of his posts had any likes at all. And I messaged him and I said, I'm going to report you to the dating site. I said, you're fake. And he's like, go to hell or something. I don't know, but oh my God. It's crazy. Dating at 53. That's what you have to deal with. Just be very careful if you ever have to
I don't understand why people go to dating sites. Go to a local bar, you'll find somebody.
What's that? I didn't hear what you said. Who was that?
I'm just kidding.
I don't know who's that. Is somebody talking to me or are you talking to me? Anyway, that's my story. I'm not quite sure how many people we're going to have on live here tonight. I know I kept postponing it. Honestly, guys, this is the first day I felt better in over a week from this tooth. I couldn't get into my dentist.
The week before it was because your dog died. The week before she was stuck in a storm.
I'm going to mute everybody here.
An hour away from home in New York. It's like always.
Okay, so this is the first day that I've actually felt better. My tooth started to hurt probably like a week ago Saturday. Not this past Saturday, the Saturday before. And, I thought, all right, well, let me take a little ibuprofen and, a little warm compress or whatever. My face wasn't swollen. And then I woke up Sunday and I was okay. Monday morning I woke up and my face was totally swollen. My cheek, my jaw, my neck. And I thought, oh God, there's an infection going on. So I couldn't get in to see my dentist. I ended up having to go to urgent care. They gave me antibiotics. I'm finally going to go see my dentist tomorrow to get some x-rays done and see what they want to do. But boy, let me tell you, it was bad. It was really bad. But we're back. We're going to get back into the swing of things again, you guys. I had to use red pipe cleaners because I didn't have any more tan. And I'm going to be using this jute mesh here. I know you guys have probably seen jute mesh before. Who have we got here tonight? Pat and Cheryl and Robin and Reba and Lila. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Lila. Debbie. Hi, Cheryl. Cheryl, did you hear my dating story? Did you hear the story that I just told? Oh my God, I'm going to have to message you or call you later. Wait till you hear this one. Oh my God. Straight out of Catfish. Yeah, I got to tell you. Can I call you later? Can we chat a little bit? Okay. You're going to love this one. So if you're not familiar with jute mesh, I know somebody messaged me the other day and they wanted to know what jute mesh is. All jute mesh is just a poly mesh and it's got burlap running through it. That's jute mesh. The only thing about jute mesh is that you cannot cut it with the wood burning tool. And because I'm crazy about frays, I use my scissors and I cut it by hand right in between the lines. And it takes me forever, but it does help with the frays. I mean, I could do it the easy way and use a rotary cutter. But since I'm crazy about my frays, I do it by hand. So I used red, but that's okay. This is a Dollar Tree form, and the way I do it, I know you've seen me do this before, or maybe you haven't. I do 10 around the outside 2 bars. I go right around the 2 bars. Whoops, where's my fingers here? There it is. Right around the 2 outside bars, and I pull it really tight and twist it in the middle. And if you use these fuzzy pipe cleaners, they won't slide. If you use the tinsley ones from the Dollar Tree, they will slide, but you have to pull them really tight. So 10 around the outer 2 bars on the outside, 8 around the 2 bars on the inside. I'm trying to hold it so you can see. We've got 18 altogether, and that's all you need. Let me see what I have here. I'm all out of it because I haven't had a class in so long. This, I believe, I cut 10-inch mesh, 18-inch pieces. We've done this method before. Hey, Tanya, we've done this method before. We're going to be doing some new methods soon, but we got to get this Valentine's wreath made here. So I did 18-inch pieces, 18-inch cuts, and we're just going to do a ruffle. I cannot believe it's 60 degrees here today. It's crazy, and it was 20 below zero last week. I can't wait to start doing some new methods. We've got some new methods coming up. There's the one that I posted with the 21-inch mesh that I want to do. I have to test it first. I'd never seen it before. I just saw it last week. It's really, really cool. We're going to be doing the poofle, which is using 21-inch mesh. That's for the dog wreath. That's something a little bit different. That's by the same woman who did the woodland ruffle. If you saw the woodland ruffle where you take the 35-inch mesh and you do the ruffle in the middle and the curls on the end, that was the woodland ruffle. We've done that. Well, she's got the poofle too. And that's what I'm going to be showing you in the doggy wreath, and it's pretty cool. But this is just your standard ruffle. And what I like to do, even though I did cut it with the scissors between the lines to cut down on the fraying, I'm still going to fold the edge over a little bit, just like that. You have the curl side facing up, and then I just flip it over. So you've got that little piece folded under, and just start ruffling it. You guys have seen the ruffle before. If you're new and you haven't, and just kind of make sure the other end is folded under too. Hey, wait till you hear this story, Cheryl. You're gonna love it. I like to start on the outside, place the first one down parallel to the wreath form. Try to get it centered before you lay it down, because once you lay it down, you're not really going to want to pull on it a lot. because the more you pull on it when it's on your wreath, the more it's going to fray on you. So that's it. I was actually going to start this before class because this and the ribbon is like the most time-consuming part. If anybody has a question or they want to chat, feel free to unmute yourself. I don't want to, I don't like to keep you guys muted. I want you to be able to talk, but the only reason I mute you is because just to cut down on the background noise a little bit, that's all. You're more than welcome just to mute yourself or unmute yourself at any time if you want to chat, if you want to ask questions. Sometimes I kind of run out of things to say here. I wish you guys could all just be in the same room with me. Would that be fun if we could just all be in the same room? I think that would be fun. And I'm sorry if you didn't see what I did. I just laid the second one down. I just crossed it over the first one. So it's kind of like an X. The first one I did this way, the second one I did this way. That's it. I want to talk to you guys. I want to unmute you. I want you guys to talk. I'm like lonely here. I haven't had a class in so long. Just keep all dogs and TV quiet. What's up? Talk to me. I missed you guys. Hi, Mimi. I'm back, Mimi.
Hello.
I have to keep
I'm
mine
back from
muted
the
because my
dead.
husband has the TV on.
If you're gonna have your TV on or whatever, that's fine. Just mute yourself.
Okay.
Can you
That's
hear
all.
me?
That's
Can you
totally
hear me?
fine. What's that?
Can you hear me?
I can.
I'm glad you're back. I miss you a lot.
I missed you guys so much too. Oh my God, what a crazy month this has been. I don't know if you saw my post, Mimi, but everybody that's on the unlimited plan is going to be getting a free month added on because I didn't have any classes in January. So
Well,
if you missed that post, I want you guys to know that, you're going to get, an extra month added on for free. So
I'm not worried about that, but that is very sweet.
I try. Did you hear my dating story, Mimi? My dating website story?
No.
You're going to have to go back and watch the videos. Dating at 53 isn't fun. Let's just put it that way. Ugh.
You don't look 53, so don't
Oh,
say it.
thank you. I'm going to be 54 in May. Can you believe that? But I've been going to the gym. I actually just went back to the gym this morning, after not being able to go for over a week. And the whole time I was there, my son kept texting me and saying, Mom, take it easy. You're on antibiotics. Don't overdo it. I'm like, I know. So,
How's your mouth feeling?
like I said, today's the first day I really am starting to feel better. And it's almost like within a day after I started taking the antibiotics about 5 days ago, the swelling went down. But I had like this soreness, like from my neck
Yeah.
all the way up the side of my mouth, my jaw, my ear, my head hurt. It was just like a soreness is the best way I can explain it. And I really couldn't open my mouth to eat. So I was eating a lot of soup. Like if I tried to open my mouth too wide, my jaw just killed me. So I was eating a lot of soup and a lot of yogurt, which they say you should eat yogurt anyway when you're on antibiotics. So, yeah. Wait a second. How many pieces do I have on here? All right. I got to do one more across. Yeah, it was bad, and it kind of came out of nowhere. I don't know where it came from. So I really don't know. I mean, I had a tooth that had been bothering me. I'll be honest with you guys. I don't like the dentist. I don't like anybody putting their hands in my mouth. I know it's really bad. I just don't like the dentist. And I really actually had very good luck with my teeth. I've never really had a lot of problems with my teeth. I brush and I floss, and so we're just going around, you guys, and just doing crisscross. One this way and one this way. 10-inch mesh cut into 18-inch pieces. So, yeah, and you know, the whole thing with Sammy, my Sammy passing away, that was really unexpected. And, you know, you try to prepare yourself, you know, she was going to be 15. She just was getting worse, you know, she couldn't see, and, you know, she was still eating though. I mean, she ate for dinner that night that she passed away. So, and we actually talked to the vet the week after, and because her blood work came back okay, her liver was fine, her kidneys were fine, her blood glucose was where it was supposed to be. He thinks she might have had a tumor. He thinks she might have had cancer, a tumor in her brain or something. Or yeah. So anyway, we've got her little ashes back. Her ashes are in a little urn now, and they saved a little bit of her fur. So, you know, it was really, really hard the first week or 10 days. I mean, I like cried every day. I missed her so much. I was her, when just came out, I was her primary caregiver. You know, I was home with her every day, and all the kids were at work, and I gave her insulin, and, you know, so it was really an adjustment. I mean, it still is.
Yeah.
But, you know, I take comfort, as everyone does that loses a pet, in knowing that she's not in pain anymore and she's in a better place. So that's it. And I'm just trying to keep myself busy. I think this is actually the first class I've had since she's passed. So, and it's so funny because I was looking back at some of the older videos, and in a lot of the videos, I can hear her like howling in the background. So that's kind of nice. Like, I think one of the videos, my son was going to the kitchen to give her a treat, and I can hear, oh, I can hear her howling. I'm like, oh. So we've got some memories on tape here in some of the classes. I know I even brought her on camera a few times. Didn't I, Cheryl, to show you guys? I think I did.
Yes.
I brought her up to the camera to say hello. So what's new with you guys? What's new and exciting? Anything? No?
The weather's warmer, which is good.
Yeah, but you know it's not going to last, Cheryl, so.
I know. We had 54 below.
I'm sorry to bust your bubble. I know the groundhog, what is it, he didn't see his shadow, or there's supposed to be an early spring, but whether he saw a shadow or not, I can't remember. But then they say he's never right anyway, so what's the difference?
Right.
Remember that movie Groundhog Day? I love that movie.
Yeah.
With Bill Murray. But anyway, I do have to talk to you, Cheryl, because I did actually have my first date, like, since the ex-boyfriend, and I got to tell you about that.
Wow.
But
You're braver than me.
my daughter says, Mom, she's like, don't put all your eggs in one basket. So I'm trying to, like, you know, just keep it casual and go on some dates and see what happens. But I think you kind of learn from each relationship that you're in. You know, you learn not to settle for certain things.
Yep.
So anyway. Hold on, my daughter just texted me that she had her review at work and she did really well. Let me just tell her I'm in a class. It's great. This is the one in Colorado. Of course, now that I'm hurrying to text, I can't text. And class. We'll text later. Okay. Anybody else have any fun stories they want to share? Anybody watch the Super Bowl last night? I guess it was pretty boring.
It was.
Very low scoring game.
Not even good commercials either.
It's that?
Not even good commercials either.
Yeah. I think the highlight for me anyway was when Adam Levine took his shirt off during the halftime.
Yeah.
That was a highlight for me anyway. You know, this one came a little bit loose, so all you got to do, like the pipe cleaner's starting to slide, and I hate that. So I just pull it really tight, and it won't slide. You got to get these fuzzy ones, though. The tinsely ones will slide on you. You don't want those. Like the Dollar Tree ones, they'll slide. Can you guys see me? Did I disappear? There's some background noise there. I didn't know if I disappeared or not.
Nope, you're there.
Okay.
Where did you get your little doggy sign?
Well, you know the doggy that's in the class listing picture that came from Kohl's last year, and they didn't have it this year. This is the one they had this year at Kohl's.
That's cute.
Yeah, isn't it cute? And his little legs move. It's a little bit heavy, and I always get nervous hanging heavier signs, but I think I may just have to use like 4 of the what have yous, the cable tie mounts. I get nervous hanging heavy signs, but that was the only one they had. It is cute though.
Yeah.
I really wanted the one from last year, but they did not have it. Well, good to get back to the gym this morning. I just did the treadmill. I didn't want to overdo it. So we made some chicken wings last night for the game, and I heard that, or I found a recipe that says that if you parboil your wings a little bit first, because I like to bake my wings, if you parboil them for a few minutes, what that does is it gets rid of some of the extra fat that's on them. So when you put them in the oven, they get crispier, and it really worked. And then you have to add a light coating of flour and baking powder, believe it or not, and your wings will be super crispy in the oven. There's your tip for the day. I told my son, I said, next time let's just order wings, because it was a lot of work. Boiling the wings and then putting them in the oven and then yada, yada, yada. But on Super Bowl Sunday, you're going to be hard pressed to find a place that's going to deliver wings. They're all so busy. Oh, there's a baby. Who's got a baby? It's like, it's going to be my mission now to like get this guy caught, this fake from this dating site, because that really made me mad that he did that. He fooled me. He really did. I had kind of a feeling that he wasn't real, because like I said, his voice did not match his pictures. And that made me mad. I don't like to be conned like that.
The other one is gonna.
What's that? So I got to figure out a way to catch this guy. That's not right. And the lengths that he went to make sure that he could cover his tracks was really, was really something. That whole fake Facebook profile, and people are crazy. Crazy. I'm gonna mute everybody again real quick just to cut down on some background noise. Please talk to me if you guys want to say anything at all, so I'm not here by myself. I feel like I'm by myself here sometimes. And if you're confused by what I'm doing, I keep trying to move this around so you can see what I'm doing here. But just like I said, just fold the little end of it down, and that kind of cuts back on your phrase. I also have a method I'd like to try. If you've got a lot of leftover 21-inch mesh, there's something kind of neat that you can do with it. And, I always say I don't like phrase. Nobody likes phrase. This particular method for leftover 21-inch mesh, there will be phrase, but it sort of adds to the rusticness. It sort of adds to the look of the wreath, if that makes any sense. And you have to use this kind of mesh. It's better to use jute mesh. But you can use any mesh. I think I'm going to try to do a class on that too. It's a ruffle wreath with a 21-inch mesh, but you ruffle it the long way. I don't want to give away too much of it, but I think I'm going to do a class on that so you guys can see. Because I know I have a lot of, you have like some rolls of 21-inch mesh that are like, you've got a few pieces left, you don't know what to do with them. This is good for that. So we're almost done with the outside. You can see this is looking nice and full. The nice thing about using plain tan or jute mesh is that you can use any color ribbons that you want because it's basically like a neutral base. You've got a neutral colored base here to work with. So you can do any color ribbons. It's not going to clash with your mesh. They sell this at Hobby Lobby, but I got this from Craft Outlet, I believe. But they do sell this at Hobby Lobby. I gotta plug in my battery here. It's really funny too. I keep talking about the dating sites, but how many young guys want an older woman? It's crazy. But what am I going to talk to them about? There's nothing to talk about with these guys that are in their.
You don't have to talk.
Mimi, behave yourself. Oh my gosh, it's so funny. That's very true, though.
I was thinking the same thing, Christina.
Well, I'm going to tell you guys a little story. I don't know if my daughter's going to hear me or not, but I did already have a date. One date. It was before I got sick. And, oh my God. He's so handsome. He's kind of far away, though. He's, Cheryl's smiling. He's a couple hours away, so he's not close. But he's so nice. He's a carpenter. And he's just every single day for the past 2 weeks, he's been texting me every morning, good morning, beautiful, good morning, gorgeous, and good night. He's just so nice. And so we had a date. And now you got to remember, I was with the same guy for 10 years. And it got really bad at the end. And, so here comes this guy being so sweet to me and so nice to me. And I have to tell you not to give too much information. But when I got that goodnight kiss, I swear to God, it was out of a fairy tale. I just felt my arms just go buttery. It was Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. Yes, is that Mimi? Oh my God, I swear. Even if nothing ever happens between us again, it doesn't work out, I'll never forget that kiss, like ever, in a million years. So that's that.
Did you run a background check on him?
No, I don't want to know. Let's just keep it simple for now. I don't want to ruin anything. But, yep. And you know what? And it's kind of weird, but not really weird, but I feel like he's really a good friend too. Like we talk and we text, and he's very, very nice. He says very nice things to me. I kind of feel like he maybe have been sent to me just to help me move on. Like he's like a transition, you know what I mean? And because I was just, after the breakup, I was just a mess. I was so sad and so depressed for months. And it helps. It helps, because when you go through a breakup, you're feeling ugly and you're feeling there's something wrong with you. And, and for somebody to come along again, tell you that you're beautiful and there's nothing wrong with you. And I won't lie, it does help. It really, really does. So.
50 is the new 30.
Is it? But I have to tell you, there's many times during the day I just sit and I think about that kiss. I'm like, it was really something. Ugh. A kiss. You know what I mean? Do you guys know what I mean? The kind of kiss you like feel down to your toes.
Yes.
All right, I don't know if my daughter's listening. I gotta keep it down because she doesn't want to hear that kind of stuff. She'll be like, ew. She doesn't want to hear it. But there are gentlemen left in the world. Let's put it that way. There are true gentlemen left in the world. Thank God. Mimi, did I get you all excited? 50 is the new 30, huh? I'll have to remember that. Even though nobody can believe it when I tell them I have a son that's going to be 28 next month. They're like, no way. Yes way. All right, we're done with the outside here. Hopefully it wasn't too boring. I just love ruffles. I mean, I could just make ruffles all day. But then again, I have to show you guys new things too. But I just think a ruffle base is just so, so pretty. And it's so easy to make. It really, really is. You're going to have a few frays here and there. You can just pull them out or whatever. So that's the first row on the outside. And then 1 second. Okay, let me just get a drink here because my throat is still burning from this antibiotic. Oh. Okay, now we're going to go on the inside. Just the same thing as the outside. Like I said, I think I might start doing part of the wreath before class because it'll save some time, and I know it might be a little boring for you guys to watch me put the whole base together.
Christina, why can't we do the inside and the outside at the same time?
What do you mean?
When you put down the ruffles, why can't you do the inside and the outside together at the same time?
Well, see, I'm not sure what you mean though, because you have your outside row and you have your inside row. So how would you be doing them at the same time? I'm confused. Like do the outside and then go to the inside like that? Is that what you mean?
Yes.
You could certainly do that. This is just the way that I've always done it. I've always done the outside first and then the inside. If you want to do the inside first and then the outside, you can. It really doesn't matter. Whatever you want to do, Mimi, As long as you have 2 pieces of mesh crossed over in each pipe
I'm
cleaner.
gonna try that. I'm gonna try it.
Okay. Some people have been asking me if we're going to have a tulip wreath class. I did do a tulip wreath class last year. I can do another one if you guys want. But the thing of it is that Michael sells out of their tulips really, really fast. And for the tulip wreaths, it's best to have the smaller ones. The bigger ones don't look as good because they just don't. They're open too. The smaller tulips from Michael's are closed, and those just look prettier in the wreath. So, I mean, if you want, we can have another tulip wreath class. I know a lot of you guys weren't with us last year when I had the class. So, I actually wanted to they have like a pale blue and a pale green color. And I thought putting both of those together would be really pretty, almost like a beachy type wreath with tulips. You're going to find the inside, they're going to like stick together a little bit, but just kind of smash it down in there. I can find my other pipe cleaner here. Where is it? And I'm not really concerned about the red pipe cleaner showing because I'm going to put my ribbon and stuff in there too. So, and I've got some red ribbon. That's kind of why I picked red. If you guys saw the wagon wheel wreath class that I scheduled, they have the wagon wheels at the at-home store. If you don't have an at-home store near you, Hobby Lobby also has them. But I think Hobby Lobby's regular price is, they're like $30 or $40. So you may want to wait until they go half off, which they will. I mean, they always have like a half off sale. So I'll keep checking on that for you guys. And you don't need to get a big one. I'm not quite sure of the diameter of them. The smallest one will be fine. I know we have an at-home store, and they have them there. They have a ton. Did I cross this over yet? Nope, I gotta cross this over. So we're doing the same as the outside, just 2 pieces per tie. Honestly, you know, you probably could get away with just doing 1 per tie on the inside, because it just is so much smaller in the middle. Not so much smaller, but, and it depends on the kind of mesh you're using too. Let me add that, because this jute mesh is thicker. If you have a thinner mesh, you know, definitely make sure you're putting 2 in each tie.
Christina,
Yeah.
if you decide not to do the tulip class, can we purchase your class from last year?
Oh, honey, I'll send it to you. That's fine. It's not a big deal. I may even just post it on the group page. That's fine. Who is that just asked that question?
This is Pat Salter.
Hi, Pat Salter. No, you know what? If I don't do the class, I'll just post the one from last year on the group page. That's fine.
Okay. I don't mind purchasing it now.
Well, no, because see, I don't know if you saw my post, but I'm not doing a per class payment anymore. It's all unlimited. I'm doing away with the pay per class thing. So, did you see that post, Pat?
I did.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go ahead and sign back up like I did this past year.
Okay. Because the pay per class thing, it was just too hard for me to, and I hated to be like the group miser and have to constantly remind people that you got to buy 1 class a month, you know. So it's just going to be a lot easier this way. No, I'll just, if I don't do the tulip class, I'll just post it in the group. It's not a big deal. And I don't have to worry about doing that now because everybody's going to be on the unlimited plan. So I may even start doing some Facebook Lives too, and not do every class in Zoom. Because previously, I really didn't like to post any videos or lives in the group because that would mean that the people who weren't paying for anything were just getting free stuff. So now that everybody's going to be like on an unlimited and they're going to be entitled to everything in the group, I may do some Facebook Lives here and there too, just to be different, you know. But I do like doing the Zoom meeting because it's difficult for me when I'm making my wreath to stop and look at comments, and I miss some, and I hate that. That's why I like doing it this way. Because all you got to do is say, Christina, and I say, yes.
Well,
And
I've
I think
enjoyed
you
them.
guys prefer it this way too, right?
I do.
We don't have too many people here tonight because I don't think anybody knew that I was going to have a class because I haven't had one in so long. But a lot of people just prefer the video too, you know. They've got busy lives and they would prefer to make their wreath on their own time. Look how nice and full that's getting done. I'm only halfway around.
How long are the pieces, Christina?
How long are they? Is that what you said?
Yes.
18 inches. And I'll tell you why I do that. I think I've mentioned this before. If you have a 10-inch roll of mesh, typically, well, not typically, they are 30 feet long. And if you have 18 ties, ideally, if you do the math, you should be able to get 18 20-inch pieces out of one roll of 10-inch mesh. So you think, okay, well, why don't we just cut them at 20 inches? Because if you have two rolls and you have, 18 ties, you're going to need 36 pieces, so just cut 20-inch pieces. The reason why I don't do that is because you're going to have some waste. So I just do it a little bit shorter. I do them at 18. That way, if some pieces I cut are a little bit longer and some are a little bit shorter, I won't have that much waste left over because I've did that to myself once before. I tried to cut them at 20 inches and I thought, well, there's the math. I mean, I'll have enough. You're not going to have enough. So 18 is just like a safe number. You can do 10 by 10 inch pieces, but if you're going to do 10 by 10 inch pieces, you're going to want to put 3 per tie. So that's just easier. You have less cuts. Now, of course, you can also do 30-inch pieces. But I know an awful lot of people, and then you only need 1 per tie, but I know an awful lot of people, who have problems with their hands, and it's difficult for them to ruffle that long of a piece of mesh. So, I like that method too. But also, if you have 2 different colors of mesh, it's nice to be able to do the 18-inch pieces. That way you can do one color on the bottom and a different color on the top and then alternate it, and then you have like a mix. I know I've done that before too. Let me tell you, it feels good to be doing classes again. I missed this. I missed it very much. And the antibiotics, I'm not too tired today, but it was really making me tired for a while. And then Pam, who's a member here, Pammy said that it's not the antibiotics that's making you tired, it's the infection. I mean, I was in bed like 7 o'clock every night for from like last Tuesday until Saturday. Last night I stayed up a little bit later to watch the game. But like I said, today I'm feeling quite a bit better, so I'm a little more awake tonight. than I had been. I just wanted to sleep. That's all I wanted to do is just sleep. And let me tell you guys something. If you have any sort of a tooth problem or an infection in your mouth, get it taken care of, because if it's, they say that if it's close to your head, you know, it spreads. It could spread to your brain. Now, seriously, it's no joke. And it pretty much affected everything. Like if you have an infection near your mouth, I mean, my nose was stuffed. I couldn't really swallow. My throat was sore. My ear hurt. It really affects everything. Don't mess around with that. So there you go. This is getting really full. How many ties do I have left up here? Let me see. They kind of get lost because it gets so full. I have 2 more. So we got 4 more pieces to go. Look how nice and pretty and full that is. You're never ever going to have an ugly wreath base when you do this method. It's always going to come out nice. It's like a no fail. Seriously. It's a no fail way to make a wreath base. There's other nice ways too, obviously, but the ruffles just always come out nice. I remember the very first wreath I ever made in a class was in June. When was it? July of 2017, and it was a fall wreath. And I didn't sell it right away. I didn't sell it actually until this year or last fall. It was probably July, maybe, I think. Someone saw it on my business page and they wanted it for fall for their daughter. And I remember taking it out of storage and looking at it, and it was only the year before, but it just shows how, you know, what a difference a year can make, and how your structure and your skill and how you put things together. And I took the whole thing apart and I made it over again. I just wasn't happy with it. You know, I added a little bit more mesh and a little more ribbon. And, I sent her a picture of it and I said, I just kind of had to fix it up a little bit because it was in storage. And she's like, oh, that's okay. But if you're just starting out and you're hating the way your wreaths are coming out, trust me, just practice. I look at some of the wreaths I made when I first started and they were horrible. It does just take practice. And then that was, then my daughter says to me, Mom, where's the hole in the middle? Because it just gets so full. But it's so pretty. I always say I just want to lie down and go to sleep. That's like a little pillow, a little wreath pillow. Bad thing about this jute mesh is it gets everywhere. The little burlap fibers. Last piece, last 2 pieces here in the middle. I can find my last pipe cleaner here. You may have a piece or 2 left over, and that's okay. Sometimes if I have like 1 piece left over, I'll try to find a spot to squeeze it in just because I don't like to have leftover mesh, but this is just so full, I don't think I'm going to have room to add. I think my son's getting home. What time is it? He had a class tonight. I think he's just getting home. All right, where
Do you
was
use 2 rolls of that, Christina?
Yep. Yep. I can't remember where I put this last piece. I gotta find it now. Where's the one that just has 1 in it? I can't find it. Hold on. Is this it? Yep. There it is. That's how full it gets in the middle. Full is good. Unless you don't like full. But I don't know of anybody who doesn't like a full wreath. All right. Yeah, that's actually all. When I email you the video, that's the supply list is going to be there, and it'll show the size to cut your ribbon and the size to cut your mesh and how much you need. There's that. Sometimes I hate to even put.
Beautiful.
It's just look at that. It's like no fail. It's perfect. Well, I wouldn't want to say perfect. I don't want to like be too conceited here, but I mean, I never have a bad looking wreath when I use this method. So, all right, now let's try to tackle this sign. I'm a little worried about this sign. Let me just spray some of my scissors over my laptop. Let me get a drink. You don't have to use the same sign I used, obviously. But this is the one from Hobby Lobby. Hold on 1 second here. Not Hobby Lobby, I'm sorry. It came from Kohl's. And it is a little heavy. So I might have to use, oh, that's so cute. I don't know if I really want to cut this off on the top here. I don't really need this little hanger, but I'm afraid if I snip it off, let me see if I can even snip it off. It's very, very thick.
Try bending it down backwards
Yeah,
so it goes in towards the wreath.
I was thinking about that too.
There you go.
No, I think I can snip it. Yeah. It's a very thick wire. You think I could have done this before class, right? I think it's going to show. Here we go. It's a little sharp there, but it's going to be inside the wreath, so I'm not going to worry about it. So, I know I've shown you guys these a zillion times, but I'm going to show you again. The cable tie mounts, you can get them near the zip ties. Walmart, Home Depot, Lowe's, you can get them online. Just little squares. These are the 1 inch by 1 inch squares. And there's a little hole in the middle. You see the hole? There it is. Self-adhesive back. Sometimes I put a little extra dot of glue. Super glue, not hot glue. Just for extra strength, but I don't think I'm going to need to do that, but I am going to use 4. It's kind of a heavier sign, so. And the worst thing is when you get your sign hung, and you think it's all secure, and then you go to hang your wreath up and it slides down and you want to scream. This is why I like the aluminum signs, like the license plate type signs from like Jane's Front Door Decor, because they're very light. I'm gonna get 4 pipe cleaners. Just goes right through the little hole. You don't have to go all the way through, just enough so you can twist it around. These are just great, especially, you know, if you live in the South. I mean, even if you don't live in the South, because hot glue, it'll melt. It will melt in the heat, and your sign's going to come off. Which, you know, if it's your own wreath, you're going to get angry, but you can fix it. But if it's somebody, you know, it's a wreath you sold to somebody, you really don't want that to happen. Also, if you have a wooden sign, you can get the pieces of foam, the thin foam, the craft foam, I don't even know what it's called. And you can cut it into little squares and place that and then staple your pipe cleaner on too with a heavy duty stapler. But the reason why you put the foam is so the staple doesn't go right through the sign and poke out the other side and ruin your sign. So, I'm not going to worry so much about these pipe cleaners that I'm covering. Typically, if there's a pipe cleaner that I'm not going to be using, I will cut it off. But the sign's going to be covering it. That is such a cute sign. I thought it was going to make me sad putting this sign on because it's a doggy, but Doesn't look anything like Sammy, so it's not making me sad. All right, let's see. I'll try to find a little space in your mesh here to feed it through. Once I get them all fed through, then I'm going to go flip it around and I'll secure them. Once you have the sign on, then it's smooth sailing because the ribbon's easy. The sign can sometimes be challenging. All right. And you can just start. I try to attach to a crossbar, but if you can't, I'm trying to see where his head is. There it is. If you can't find a crossbar, one of these to attach it to, just go ahead and start winding it around. Don't get it too tight until you're sure your sign is where you want it to be, and then you can go back and tighten it. Just wrap it around a couple of times. There's a crossbar here. You can clip these off after when you're satisfied with your sign placement. Let's see. It's on there pretty good. I think I'm going to clip these off. I'm not going to be able to put ribbon there because it's under the sign. So I'm going to clip these pipe cleaners off here. There. You don't want to pull it down too tight because you don't want to really squish your wreath either. Let me look at it real quick and make sure it's not. That looks pretty good. And it's not sliding. I just love his little feet. Cute. All right. Let's see what I have for ribbon here. I cut this so long ago. I got some little paw print ribbon, 2.5 inch, cut it 12 inches. I don't remember where I got that. I think I got it online somewhere. I have some pink 1.5 inch stripe because there's some pink in the sign. I think I had this from last year, this Valentine's little hearts. It's like a canvas. Natural color, 2.5 inch, 12 inches. These are all 12 inches. And then I have a polka dot, which I thought was cute. Got the red polka dot. I cut extra pieces of the 1.5 inch, I think maybe like 5 or 6 at 13 inches, and I did not dovetail those. Those are for our little bow ties. I think You guys have seen me do that before. I'll lay all my ribbon over here. So this is the part where everybody's going to fall asleep because you know how I am with my ribbon. I take my time putting it on. Then you got to figure out what you want to go with what. I don't want to put two reds together, so I'm going to take my paw print with my pink stripe and put those together. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with having an idea in your head with what you want to use for ribbon, and then getting it on your wreath and realizing it doesn't work. So it's not a bad idea to pick several different kinds of ribbon and have them cut so you can try them out. If you don't use them, you can use them on another wreath. Yeah, it's 12 inches, you know, it's not like it's going to be a different size. Typically go by the colors that are in your sign. I've got pink, I've got red, you know, it's a doggy, so I've got little paw prints, so I thought that would be cute. But again, once you get it on your wreath and you see that, you know, hey, it doesn't really look like I thought it was going to look, have some other ones to fall back on. You know, I I used to have a really hard time choosing ribbon when I first started making wreaths. But Southern Charm Wreaths, if you know who that is, Julie Simaco, she has a chart on her page. It's a color wheel, and it helps you to choose colors for ribbons and what complements, you know, what colors complement each other and which ones don't. So it's a really helpful tool. And I like to have all my ribbons kind of going out the same way, so they kind of frame the wreath. One thing I don't like about satiny ribbon is it's hard to shape. This is a satiny ribbon, this paw print ribbon. It's kind of a little bit hard to shape. Just take your time. You're going to find that the jute mesh just wants to eat everything that you put in contact with it, so you got to be careful with that too. Just wants to stick to everything. So there's that. I'm going to take my 13-inch non-dovetailed piece and just kind of fold it over in itself. I'm sure you guys have seen me do this before. If you haven't, then make a little bow tie. And this is what I do in lieu of making bows, because I am not that good at making bows. Yes, I have a pro bow, but in all honesty, I have no room to like keep it out all the time. So I tend to leave it in the box and then I'm too lazy to get it out. So that's my fault. But the pro bow is a wonderful tool. I know, Cheryl, you like yours. I'm just really not a big bow person, you know, and I really should start using bows more because, you know, these classes aren't just about me. It's about you guys and wanting to learn. I can make a hand-tied bow. I can make a pro bow. So, but this is a nice little way to add a bow to your wreath without having to, you know, worry about twisting and pinching or getting a bow maker out. It's just a nice little tiny bow. It's going to go all the way around your wreath. So now we're going to switch to the other ribbon, which is polka dot and the hearts. I think that'll work all right. That'll look cute together. You're going to put one of these in every tie. I'm trying to get it toward the camera so you can see what I'm doing here. That'll look cute together. I've done that though. I've had ribbon picked out and then gotten it on my wreath and I was like, oh no, that's not going to work. And so you just pick something else. That's why I'm always buying ribbon, even if, you know, a lot of times I'll see a roll of ribbon that I like and I'll actually even design my wreath around the ribbon. You know, it's all in, you know, inspiration. You see something that you like, you pick it up. It could be a sign, it could be a roll of ribbon, it could be an embellishment. And you just kind of go from there, and you go with the colors. That's really where you start. And I just rolled this piece of mesh under. It was kind of going up like that. And I just rolled it under just so my ribbon would lay a little bit better. I can't tell you how many signs that I've picked up over the years, and just because I thought it was a cute sign. And a lot of times that's how you start your idea for a wreath too, is with a sign. It's going to be going back to, I think, 20 on Saturday again here. But, you know, it's only February in upstate New York, y'all. We're not in the South like some of you may be. I'm jealous. So I took my polka dot piece. That's typically what I do. You can make your bow tie out of, I'm just snipping off the extra pipe cleaner. You can make your bow tie out of the 2.5 inch. I've done that. But it does look better with the 1.5 inch. So I've got 2 on there so far, and we're just going to go all the way around the outside. And I like that look. I like the way it looks with all the ribbon just framing the outside. And if you've got some like misshapen pieces of mesh and you've got like a lump here, it helps to even it out too. So that's another reason why I do that. I don't necessarily put ribbon in every tie on the inside, because a lot of wreath makers, they'll put their ribbon on and then they'll put their sign. And I don't like to do that, because then the sign ends up covering your ribbon. So I usually just put my sign on first and I'll add the ribbon around it. So that tends to work out better for me anyway. Your pipe cleaners might get a little bit hidden. You gotta try to find them. And a lot of wreath makers will, you know, everyone has their own way of, or I should say their own length they like to cut their ribbons. I used to cut mine at 14 inches. But then I found that it just covered up too much of my wreath. I couldn't see my mesh, especially if I had a really pretty a pattern or a stripe. And then I had all this ribbon and I couldn't see my mesh, and I didn't like that. I like to be able to see everything. So, and, you know, I'm not knocking wreath makers that use a lot of ribbon. It's just, it's a matter of preference. You know, I'm sure they have customers that like a ton of ribbon and they like a lot of bows. I just don't. So, uh-oh, where'd my other little piece of pipe cleaner go here? I need that other side. There it is. You know what I'm finding I don't use anymore either? I don't use the work wreath forms anymore. And if you're not familiar with what a work wreath form is, a work wreath form is just a wreath form that already has pipe cleaners on it. And the main difference is it's going to give you a much poofier wreath. And in my opinion, it's a little bit too poofy because they're more rounded. The Dollar Tree frames, or the frames that you get at Hobby Lobby or Joann's or Michael's, they're flatter. The work wreath forms are a lot more domed, and so your finished product is just going to be like, they're huge. The work wreath forms make a gigantic wreath. You can still get a really full wreath out of a Dollar Tree frame, but I just find that, it was just a little bit too full for me. You definitely could not fit it in between 2 doors. I mean, in my experience, you couldn't. So that's that. They are easy to use because you don't have to worry about adding pipe cleaners, but it's so easy to add pipe cleaners anyway. And, you can get a case of Dollar Tree forms for, $24. which I usually do buy them by the case now, and just have them delivered to the store. So you got a wreath form for $1 versus a wreath form, you know, that costs $6 or $7. I think is what they're running now, the work wreath forms. There are times when you have to use, like if you want to make a garland, you have to buy a work garland. Though that's different. Because you can't really make your own. I think one of our members did though one time. I think she made her own work garland. She took like wire, I don't know what kind of wire it was, but she twisted it together and she added pipe cleaners to it. So she made her own. But I don't know if I'd want to do that. Where am I now? I need polka dot. I love polka dots. But the red's given this a nice pop of color. Again, you've got a plain mesh for your base, so you really can go anywhere with the ribbons. But try to stay with the theme. You know, Valentine's, my red heart. I've got my pink. I probably could have used some ribbon with a little bit of gray in it, but I don't know. I think I wanted to stick with the pink and the red for Valentine's Day. So I'll drop some of my ribbon here. When I first started, I had no clue how to pick out ribbon. I can remember my very first class that I took was in a Zoom meeting like this, and I can remember in the weeks I think it was Debbie's Wreaths and things, yeah, and she only had like one class a month. She did like one class a month. And I can remember in the weeks going up to the class, I was just asking everybody, does this ribbon go together? Does this ribbon go together? I just could not. I couldn't figure it out for the life of me. So it does take a little bit of practice. And this is the longest part right here, is doing the outside. Because you've got 18 ties, you're putting ribbon in here. So if you guys get bored, I totally understand. You're all going to get the video anyway if you want to step out and go to bed or whatever you need to do. Just pulling some of these phrases. I love his little tongue that's sticking out. It's so cute. I've got some embellishments here too that I'm going to put in. The satiny ribbon's kind of a pain. The doggy print is a satin, and it's harder to shape a satin ribbon as opposed to a canvas. This is a canvas. This one with the hearts on it is a canvas, and it's just easier to shape those. Got a life of its own. That's when you need to know when to walk away. You gotta lift your hands up and say, that's it. Stop playing with it. You're gonna drive yourself crazy. Sometimes perfection isn't always necessary. And that's tough for me to grasp because I am a perfectionist. And even after I hang a wreath on my wall, I'll walk by and I'll adjust ribbon and move something, add something. It can be an issue if you let it. Now you don't have to cut these little excess pieces off, but I just, because it's red and it kind of stands out a little bit, you can always just twist them around the back too. In other words, you don't have to cut them off. If you do cut them off, make sure that you have enough twisted around so you're not going to lose your ribbon.
I roll mine down with a pencil.
Yeah, that's what What's Her Name does too. From Rhonda's Creative Corner. That's too much work for me. But it makes like a little curly cues. That'd be kind of cute, right?
Absolutely.
See that? All right, let's see. We're getting there. What do I need now? Like I said, this is the time-consuming part, ladies. I wish it was a little faster. My sister's so funny. She's not a real big TV watcher, and she lives alone. She's got 4 cats, and I'm just thinking about what we did over the weekend. And I had an older TV of my daughter's. She used to have a TV in her kitchen like years ago, one of the old analog TVs with the rabbit ear antennas, and she would just watch it once in a while when she was in the kitchen, but she's not really a big TV watcher. So I found this old TV in the closet. That wasn't old. It was a Vizio. It was a nice little flat screen. It was like 20 inches. So I found it in my closet, and I said, Sissy, I call her Sissy, my sister, my only sister. I said, Sissy, do you want a TV? She's like, yeah. She goes, I really would love a new one just to sit on my kitchen table, to watch while I'm doing dishes or cooking or whatever. And I said, well, I got this one at Lindsay's. It's her old one. So all we had to do was we went to Walmart because she doesn't want cable. And we got an antenna. And I can't even tell you how thrilled she was when we went and hooked up that TV. And she got 38 channels, and she got some cooking channels. She was so happy with this little 20-inch TV. I don't like huge TVs anyway. I know some people have like 50-inch TVs in their house. I don't think I'd want one that big. I don't watch TV that much anyway. I think we have like a 40-inch in our living room right now, which is fine with me because cables are so expensive now. It's crazy. For the amount of time that I watch it, my daughter watches it more than I do. So expensive. I do like to watch the Cooking Channel once in a while. That's like one of my favorite channels. Cooking Channel, Food Network. I'm just trying to tuck this piece under a little bit because it's the cut end and I don't really want to see that. There. That's all I was trying to do. Tuck those cut ends in. Hanging on with me, ladies. I know this is the slow part. We still have a little bit of a ways to go around here. It is what it is. What do I need now? I need the pink and I need the paw print. Anybody want to tell any stories? Anybody got any fun stories they can tell? I'm all ears. Just unmute yourself and start talking. No stories? Nothing exciting?
I went shopping at Walmart and I'm looking in the Valentine section.
Yeah.
somebody had thrown an evergreen wreath in there, and I took it to the register, and it was only 10 cents.
Oh my gosh, wow. There you go. You can, you can make any type of a wreath out of the evergreen wreath. You don't have to have it just for Christmas. I don't know if you guys realize that. I saw somebody took one of those and they made a summer watermelon wreath out of it, and it was so cute. All they did was they just took red mesh and they ruffled it up. I know we've done a class on adding mesh to an evergreen, because basically the evergreen or the pine base that Carol's talking about, you just use the branches for your pipe cleaners. So you could take an evergreen base, if you've got one in your basement or your storage area and it's all tucked away for Christmas, take it and get yourself some red mesh and ruffle it up. I wouldn't do 18-inch ruffles. I'd do maybe like 10 or 15-inch and just put ruffles all around it. And then, you can add some watermelon ribbon. You can add a sign. You're going to have a little bit of green sticking out in the background, but it's, there's green and watermelon. And I got to find a picture of this one wreath this lady made, because it was really cute. So evergreen wreaths are not just for Christmas, ladies. Remember that. But you got to kind of try to keep the, didn't I cut enough of this pink ribbon here? I think I ran out of my longer strips. I'll have to use the shorter ones. Yeah, you can use evergreen wreaths all year round, actually. I wouldn't use it for a beach wreath, because the colors really aren't going to match, but anything that has maybe like green in it, like a spring wreath. If you've got a sign that's got some green in it, you can use an evergreen wreath for a base. Maybe you should do that. I've got this green sign that says Happy Spring. I think I got it from Dollar General. I've been wanting to use it. I haven't used it yet. Maybe I'll use it for something like that. Anyway, let's see. We're coming around the corner here, ladies. Coming around the bend. Where am I now? What do I need? I forget where I left off. We're almost done with the ribbon. Well, around the outside. That's the longest part. I'm going to flip it around in 1 second for you here. I probably should start putting my camera on this side, because I'm right-handed and it's hard for me to work from this angle. I feel like I'm going backwards. Do I have any longer of this? Yes, I do. I think the pink stripe was left over from last year. That's why I don't really have. I hope I have enough to put on the top. I do want to put some on the top too. I have several storage bags of unused ribbon strips, like left over from other wreaths that I like to try to use when I can. I hate to waste anything. Don't like to waste. We're getting there. No, wait a minute, got the wrong one. knew something didn't look right. I can't wait to hang this. I don't have one Valentine's wreath hung up in my house yet. I just took down my Christmas ones the other day. I like to leave my Christmas ones up all through January. I just have always done that. I don't take them down right away. And the house looks too empty. And then you should be able to have just enough ribbon to go all the way around and not have two of the same next to each other, which is a serious faux pas in my wreath making world anyway. I can't have two of the same ribbons next to each other. I think I may have ended up accidentally adding an extra pipe cleaner on the outside, though. I think I had 11 pipe cleaners on the outside, so I may have an issue over here. So I've got 2 pipe cleaners left here, and I should only have 1. So I think I'm going to have to make an executive decision here. I'm just going to put ribbon in this one and not in both, because I don't want to have 2 of the same types of ribbon next to each other. That will not do in my book. So I'm going to tuck this one around behind. I'm not going to use it. Yeah, I accidentally put 11 in. I don't know how that happened. I wasn't counting well enough, I guess. So I'm just going to put ribbon in this one here. And then I'll be done with the outside. What do I need? Because if you have 18 on the outside, you'll have just enough when you're alternating your ribbon that you won't have 2 next to each other that are the same. I have a little tiny bit of a space over here, but it's not the end of the world. Tiny, tiny little space where there could have been ribbon, but that's okay. You gotta let that kind of stuff go. I like to curl my ribbon around so it's like framing it and not like sticking right up. It looks better that way. It lays a little bit flatter. There. Hands away from the wreath. And then know when to stop filling with it. Don't drive yourself crazy. I still got a few of you guys hanging on. Again, this is the time-consuming part, ladies, is the ribbon. Time-consuming but necessary. At least around the outside. I'm not going to put it in every tie on the inside, so. But I'll show you in a second why I'd like to have it in every tie on the outside. It just really frames the wreath nicely. Somebody's cooking something in my kitchen here. I smell something. My kids are always eating, I swear. constant. Alrighty then. So I have a little tiny bit of a gap here because I had an extra pipe cleaner, but it's not the end of the world. I'm going to move this piece over a little bit so it'll kind of help to fill that. So you can see when you're done putting all your ribbon on the outside, look how pretty that is. Just love the way that looks framing the outside of the wreath. And I could just stop right there if I wanted to, but see how pretty that looks all around the outside? That's like my favorite part. Kind of curl that under a little bit. It's so easy to do. I mean, it's so easy, seriously. Let me get a drink. Just checking my text for 1 second. All right, so we're going to put a few pieces on the top. I have to try to find some pieces that aren't covered by the sign. Some pipe cleaners, I should say. Here's one. I can stick one here. Let's see. I'm going to do, I only have 2 pieces of the pink left. So I think I'm going to do that here. I'm not going to be able to do a bow tie in this one because well, I guess I can. I'm only going to be able to use 1 pink on the top. I only have 2 left. I should have bought more of this pink ribbon. I'm going to put this one right here. And as I've said before, if you've seen my other videos, it's kind of hard to do when you're putting your ribbon on the top. You don't want to go all the way down to the bottom of the pipe cleaner because you're going to lose your ribbon. It's going to be hidden. You got to kind of just go down a little bit. I don't really want to cover my heart though, so I'm going to go down with it like this. This might not be a very good space for this ribbon because I don't want to really cover my sign. I can kind of tuck it in here a little bit like that. I don't know. I might not put that ribbon there because it's going to cover my sign. Hold on. Let me rethink this. It's going to be too close to my sign. Maybe I'll put like an embellishment there or something instead. Let me tuck that pipe cleaner down in there. So scratch the ribbon there. I'm going to put an embellishment there instead. I think, what do I have for embellishments anyway? It's little hearts I got from Hobby Lobby. Maybe I'll just put one of these here instead. I do have my glue gun. I guess I should probably go plug that in. But for now, I'm just going to stick this little heart in there right next to the big heart. Maybe I'll even put 2 in there. Let me see. I can glue it in after. Usually I try to set my embellishments in first and see if I like the way it looks, and then I'll go back and I'll glue it. Maybe I'll do that instead. Instead of putting ribbon up there, I'll just stick a couple little hearts. Because the ribbon is going to cover the sign. And it's not staying. Get in there. There. I'm going to plug my glue gun just in case I need it. We're on the home stretch, ladies. Let me get a couple of hearts in here. And just stick them right into the mesh. Ah, get in there. It's not being cooperative. Oh my God. Maybe I'll have to trim these down a little bit, these long sticks. Yeah. Let me cut these down a little bit. Cut them a little shorter. There. I'm probably going to have to glue them too. Whoop. Some little hearts next to the big heart. That looks cute right there. There's two little hearts. I want 3. There's 2 enough. Let's see how 3 looks.
Very cute.
Is 3 too many,
Love
or
it.
should I have 2? I have to glue these in. Thank you, Mimi. I'm like sticking it inside my mesh here, and it's giving me a hard time. Go. Oh, for crying out loud.
You could add a pink heart too.
I don't have any pink hearts. That's the problem.
Okay.
I just have red. I know pink would look cute because I already have a red heart here, so a big one. I'm just trying to.
I like that one. I like the way you got it too.
Thank you. But they're just being annoying, and I don't really want to glue them, but I'm probably going to have to. So bear with me a minute here. There's always something that gives you a hard time. Everything's going so smoothly. It's because this jute mesh is very thick. I kind of want them just to be sticking out a little bit. That's what I want. Hold on. Let me get some glue. Maybe that'll help me to accomplish what I'm trying to accomplish here. Well, I can let you guys go. I'm fighting with my hearts here. I have some gold ones too, but I don't think the gold would really show up because of the color of the mesh. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, pink would be cute. Unfortunately, they did not have pink. You know what I always wanted to make is a wreath using the conversation hearts. I wonder if they have like those, like larger size. I think that would be so cute. The ones that say "Be mine" or "I love you." That would make such a cute wreath, I think. Last one. I'm just gonna put a little glue on. I'm hoping it's gonna help me to position it where I want it. I kind of want this little grouping of 3. That is what I'm trying to do. If it will let me. It's like a little grouping of 3 hearts sticking out here. I may have to adjust them a little bit, but that's kind of what I was trying to do, just have these 3 little hearts poking out over here. But they're being stubborn. Just like that. That's all I really wanted to do. That one's going to be flattened a little bit, I think. Bear with me, ladies. And just do this and press it right up against the mesh because I want to lay a little bit flatter. See, I have these, but I think they would blend in. Isn't that pretty? I think they would blend in too much with the jute mesh. They really won't stand out. So I probably would need to use those with red mesh. Quarter to 10. Is it quarter to 10? Geez, already. Craziness. You know, you would think that hot glue would stick really well to mesh. It doesn't. It really doesn't. It's a pain in the neck. All right, let me throw some more ribbon on here because it didn't fit over there. So let's try to put it on the bottom. And I'll let you guys go. I didn't want to cover my sign. So let's see if we can fit it over here somewhere. Like I said, any pipe cleaners that you don't use, you can just kind of tuck them around the back. I'm sitting here thinking about how I can catch this guy that fooled me on the dating site. I'm still so mad about that. How somebody could just get on there and just lie like that really just burns me. Just because he wants to talk to girls. Like, what would happen if he, like, wanted to meet somebody? You know, and oh, geez, you know, I'm sorry. I have a beard and a beer belly, and I don't look anything like the picture, but, you know, do you want to have dinner? Like, what do they think? What do they think when they do that, when they just lie like that? God, it makes me mad. Sorry. It really makes me mad. And the fact that he had, like, almost fooled me, too, makes me even more mad, because I'm not an easy person to fool. Anyway. Oh, so there's that. Put a little ribbon on the side here. And where else can I fit some? The sign is so big, it kind of covers up a lot of the pipe cleaners, so. Let's see. I think I can put some down here. And it's such a puffy wreath because these big ruffles. A little bit of glue here. And I'm going to cover up his little feet. This one's not going to have, I guess I can probably put a bow tie there. I think I can fit one. Move over a little bit so you guys can see me a little bit better. Thanks for hanging on with me here. Seems like I struggle with those little hearts more than anything else in this wreath. Oh shoot, it came out. Come on. That's where you gotta make sure your ends are folded over good enough. You're almost done, ladies. You know me, I always end up playing with my wreath after class and adding more or taking stuff off or there's that. There's his little foot. Let's see. I feel like I just want to add one other ribbon bundle, I think. Maybe up here. There's a lot of ribbon on here, though. Let me look at that real quick. I feel like it needs something over here. I wish I had some ornaments. That would be kind of cute. Some red ornaments. In fact, I think I do, but that might make it look too Christmassy. Well, you know what I have? Hold on a minute here. I forgot that I had this stuff. I've had this since like last year. I forgot that I had that. Ooh, let me see. This is cute. Let's see. This jute mesh just does not want to work with my embellishments here. I just want to stick this in somewhere here. This little striped heart. Let's see how that looks. That's cute. This thing is huge. I don't know if I want to use these big balls though. I don't think I like those. I like these little hearts though. Don't want to cover my sign. I think I'm just going to go like this. How cute.
Very, very cute.
Is there any spaces anywhere? Am I missing anything? I think it needs something here.
Gorgeous.
Thank you. Sometimes I don't know until the last minute what I'm going to add. I kind of have to see what I have. Do these look okay over here, ladies? These two
Yes,
right there?
I love those.
That's adorable. I love it.
I forgot I had those.
Looks real good.
Thank you so much. I feel like, see, I've got these ball things, but I don't know if I want to put those in. They're kind of long. I'll just put one more of these over here. Let's see. Where you guys want to go? I'll probably end up playing with this some more after I log off class here. I'll add a few more of these little hearts over here, I think, maybe. Just because it's too empty over here. It's, the thing of it is this wreath is just so puffy.
What?
All right. Let me just see what I can do here. I'm just going to add a couple more of these little small ones over on this side. Just because it needs a little bit more of something.
Christina, good night.
Good night, Mimi. Love you.
You too. Bye.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Yep, I'm heading out too.
It's beautiful.
Love it.
Yeah.
Bye.
Everybody's leaving. All right, I'm going to finish working on it then.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to put some more of these hearts in. Good night, ladies.
Good night.
Have a good night. Thank you.